After indulging in libations, I found myself stumbling home in a rather disheveled state. Unexpectedly, a strong and fair hand ensnared me, drawing me into a warm embrace. My mother exclaimed, "What a handsome young man! How did you come to be?"
Acá trafeiker.
I replied, "Meow, mother, save me." "Wait, he's so dashing, hold off on the rescue for now." She responded with a silent pause. When the striking man whisked me away to his abode, I immediately surged to the trending topics on a certain social media platform, dominating the top 3 spots. Shock, the top-tier actor steals a cute kitten in broad daylight. The sister-in-law doesn't seem local. The kitten he casually picked up represents my entire youthful yearnings. Once the chatter on social media had reached a fever pitch. User A remarked, "He really just scooped it up, his movements are as practiced as those of a trafficker." User B quipped, "Haha, the way he swiftly snatches things is impressive, not even the street cats are spared." User C questioned, "Is no one concerned? Kittens have owners too, taking without asking is theft. Why hasn't anyone called the police?" User D commented, "The victimized kitten, eyes wide with longing, utterly unresisting." User E added, "A certain hater. Is my brother a thief? Is he a robber? He's a bandit." The comment section was ablaze with activity as I exchanged glances with Shin Xingqian in his home. He was clad in a dark suit, his thin lips pressed together, and his clear, bright eyes bore an elusive sorrow. Oh dear, my family, he resembles an abandoned, forlorn creature. How I longed to caress him. Yet, alas, he was just out of reach, which frustrated me greatly. Suddenly, he leaned down, cradling me in his arms, speaking with utmost tenderness. "Mimi, could you assist me?" Yes, yes. As I gazed at his handsome visage, nearly drooling, I nodded fervently. I swore he was the most handsome man I had ever encountered. Before he requested my help in catching a rat, upon seeing the large black rodent occupying his bedside, my fur stood on end in sheer terror. Oh, family, who understands? If he needed a rat caught, he should seek out the tabby sister. I am merely a ragdoll cat, incapable of anything beyond being adorable. Shin Xingqian, you've mistaken your feline. I darted into Shin Xingqian's embrace, clinging tightly to his chest. The rat surveyed the comfy bed, glanced at me, then at Shin Xingqian. Shin Xingqian looked at the rat, then at the cozy bed, and finally at me. I scrutinized Shin Xingqian, then the rat, and finally my own pitiful, helpless self. Oh mother, I wished to return home. The trio of man, cat, and rat exchanged prolonged glances. The cameraman could no longer restrain himself. He strode over, seized the rat by its tail, and flung it out the window. The barrage of comments erupted anew. Interspecies CP Fan 1. My brother asked the sister-in-law to catch it, the sister-in-law asked my brother to catch it, and in the end, it was the cameraman who did the job. CP Fan 2. What nonsense are you spouting? Yi Lingxian is the official pairing for our brother. They've collaborated for years. He is the male lead, and Yi Lingxian is the female lead. There's no spark of romance who would believe it. Interspecies CP Fan 2. I still prefer the sister-in-law. Just look at her, she embodies all the attributes. Lively, clingy, easy to pet, and delightful to hold. She's adorably silly, with a wide face, good ear spacing, and a luscious coat devoid of splotches. Truly, aside from not being human, she's perfectly suited for my brother. All the fans were speculating whom Shin Xingqian would choose, and several new threads had emerged, yet no one knew that I had stealthily returned home. Upon my arrival, my mother enveloped me in a fervent embrace, her excitement palpable. "Ah, Milk Candy, that's a top-tier male celebrity. Hurry and get me a stack of autographs so I can flaunt them to your aunts." I wore a face of utter despair. When I was human, I couldn't get close to him. How could I possibly ask for an autograph while in feline form? As the effects of the alcohol waned, I gradually reverted to my human shape. I collapsed onto my bed, staring at the plethora of Shin Xingqian posters adorning the walls, and suddenly began to roll around in my blanket in sheer ecstasy. Ah, Shin Xingqian held me. Woo-woo, he smells divine, and his abs are so firm. How could I not bite him? I shall make sure to do so next time. The following day, upon awakening from a deep slumber, I returned to school only to find a video of my most embarrassing moments trending on social media. Seriously, does anyone understand the plight of my family? How could someone so idle choose to disseminate such a humiliating video of me? The world seems incapable of accommodating a pitiful, helpless little cat like me. I long to return to Meow Meow Planet. After much contemplation, I hurried back to my dormitory, determined to confront the source of this debacle. It's all my foolish friend Siesinia's fault. She knows that alcohol reveals my true self, yet insisted on dragging me out for drinks under the pretense of her heartbreak. after downing 3 cups of wheat juice. I was already intoxicated to the point of disorientation, leaving a trail of clothing behind as I staggered away. I hummed a tune from my home planet, striding home with reckless abandon, deliberately taking the more arduous paths. Meow meow meow, meow meow meow, meow 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 meow. My friend chased after me, breathlessly exclaiming, "Sue meow meow, slow down." The tears I shed over my heartbreak don't even compare to the sweat you're pouring. She had no choice but to transform into a heron-like figure, desperately pursuing me, her wise gaze nearly costing her life on more than one occasion. Recently, a film crew had set up nearby, making the evenings quite lively. We, as a nation, possess an innate tendency to gather for excitement, and so does our feline kind. I scampered up to the treetops to observe and immediately spotted the most handsome individual amidst the crowd. So dashing. I wanted to take him home. He would surely merit a dedicated page in my Meow family chronicles. After watching for a while, I climbed down only to be whisked away by someone. "Let go. Don't touch me," I protested, but upon turning, I was met with an exceptionally handsome face. Well, if he is a good man, he may touch me. The sensation of being embraced by an idol was indescribably delightful. Meanwhile, my heron-like friend stumbled after me, only able to watch as I was taken further away. Now that I've embarrassed myself, who is to blame? It's her fault for not keeping an eye on me. Siasini, with her disheveled hair, gazed at me in utter resignation. "All right, I understand. You're going home with your idol. So what? Do you need me to pluck a feather to send you off?" Huffed. "You owe me compensation," I retorted defiantly. "What kind of compensation? You must take me out for delicious food." All right, let us go downstairs." With sleepy eyes, Siasini followed me down, and as we stepped out of school and into the hot pot restaurant, we barely settled in before a large group appeared at the next table. Thank you. No need to thank me. I haven't settled the bill yet." Siasini rolled her eyes. I promptly twisted her head around. "Look, it's Shun Xingchen." Siasini tilted her head to glance, and then abruptly handed me a drink. "Meow meow. Would you like some wheat juice?" "Yes. But please don't delay me from watching the handsome guy." I gulped down the drink eagerly, letting out a loud belch. The man at the next table turned to glance at me, his eyes curving with a smile. Oh my, I'm utterly intoxicated. I truly was inebriated. Realizing that my tail was nearly bursting forth from beneath my skirt, I shot a furious glare at Siasini before hastily retreating to the restroom. When I emerged, I had reverted to my feline form. Striding with a sense of entitlement, I marched up to Shin Xingchen and playfully poked him with my paw. "Oh, is the sister-in-law here?" The director across from us grinned mischievously. Shin Xingchen affectionately scooped me into his arms. "Didn't you sneak away? You know you've returned?" His deep, magnetic voice resonated in my ears. "Who snuck away?" I had walked back openly. I gazed up at him, extending my fluffy little paw to express my displeasure by leaving paw prints on his pristine white shirt. He allowed my mischievous claws to wreak havoc on that expensive shirt, his long fingers gently stroking my fur down my back. "Are you sulking just because I said a few words? Such a proud little cat." "Humph. You're the one who is proud." I climbed up his arm to perch on his shoulder, finding a comfortable spot to lay down, and then turned back to stick my tongue out at Siasini. Siasini pinched her own skin. Oh dear ancestral spirit. Transforming into a cat allows you to shed your disguise, doesn't it? Of course. Who could blame me? I am inherently charming, much to the delight of young Shin. I have decided to let him become my litter box attendant. Shin Xingchen's table was indulging in a clear broth, which I found unappealing. So I promptly leaped in front of my foolish friend, signaling her to grill some meat for me. Siasini's eyes were red-rimmed. Damn it. Why does he get to pet you, and I don't? I want to transform back and have him pet me too. I blinked. Are you certain that transforming back won't get you arrested? Upon just having sprouted a few fur strands, Siasini quickly retracted them. Dejectedly, she offered me a hefty piece of meat with chopsticks, muttering, "Here, eat. You foolish cat." I happily dug into the meat, only to turn and find Shin Xingchen watching me with great interest. Slurp. I quickly swallowed the slice of beef roll, gazing at him with curiosity. What is going on? Are meow beings not allowed to eat spicy hot pot? I intend to eat it regardless. I want to eat it, especially the spiciest variety. The man across from me paused for a moment before suddenly coming over and scooping me up. His eyes, as deep as serene waters, gazed at me intently. Listen closely. Little kitty shouldn't eat spicy food. I'm going to eat it anyway. I struggled in his embrace, but he was unyielding. He gently waved to his friends at the table. I'll take my little cat home now. You all continue eating. Why is it your home? Clearly you are mine. Until he magically produced a catnip ball from his pocket. Your home, I thought I belonged to you both as a person and a cat. I clung to the catnip and savored it for what felt like an eternity. Oh, how fragrant. Why do I feel so dizzy? My head swayed as the scenery around me began to blur. In my hazy state, I seemed to see Shin carrying me off to some location. The bed was soft and comfortable. I stretched luxuriously, yawning as I nestled against the man, utterly exhausted. I wanted to sleep. As my chin rested against his chest, I lifted my head to meet his clear, water-like gaze. You smell sweet like milk. From now on, I shall call you Milk Candy. Huh. How does he know my name? No matter. Litterbox attendant, hug me. I snuggled into his arms, inhaling his crisp scent, and drifted into slumber. When I awoke, it was already midnight. A warm breath wafted over my face in gentle waves. I slowly opened my eyes, only to find him sound asleep beside me. He looked so handsome while sleeping, his brows slightly furrowed, and long eyelashes fluttering softly. I involuntarily reached out to caress his cheek. Wait a moment. A hand? Where did this hand come from? Realizing what had happened, I looked down in shock. When did I transform back into human form? Oh no. What should I do now? I am a cat, and due to flaws in my shape-shifting skills, I can only revert to my feline form through alcohol. What am I to do now? There's no alcohol in his room. I quietly slipped out of bed, searching the room high and low, but aside from his clothing, I found nothing else. There was not a drop of alcohol to be found. Should I escape through the window? I stealthily approached the window. Peering out, I noticed it was the 28th floor. Oh no, I'm afraid of heights. Clad only in a bath towel, I anxiously paced in place. Turning around, I unexpectedly met the deathly gaze of my foolish friend through the glass. Hurry up and get on the plane. Wait, she can fly? And so high. I cautiously opened the window, not daring to make a sound. In my childhood, I often fantasized that my destined partner would be a heroic figure, one day donning golden armor and riding a rainbow cloud to rescue me. However, to my utter astonishment, the one who came to my rescue was not a gallant hero, but rather a foolish bird. Crouched upon her back, I dared not utter a word, terrified that this silly creature might turn around to peck at me, which would surely be the end of my life. Once she descended from the heights, she could no longer fly and transformed back into her human form, ushering me back into the car and tossing my clothes at me. Put this on, we're heading back to the dormitory, she commanded. Vev, my sister is so aloof. It's frightening, I whimpered. What are you afraid of? When you went home with other men, you weren't scared, were you? She shot back, glancing at me. I pouted, tears welling in my eyes. You tricked me into drinking, and now it's my fault? I shouldn't have drunk. Shouldn't have gone home with other men. Perhaps I should just jump into the river and drown. Oh, if only I could feel his abs one last time before I die. Siasini rolled her eyes in exasperation, nearly pressing the accelerator into the river, prompting me to hurriedly shove my ID into my mouth. I'm truly at a loss for words. So you really do like him? As I struggled to put on my clothes, the sleeve halfway on, I peeked out, my bewildered yet clear eyes fixated on her. Is that not allowed? Siasini was so exasperated that she laughed, stopping the car to pinch my soft cheeks, and earnestly advised, Fool. Even if you like him, you can't keep appearing as a cat. Is he really going to engage in an interspecies romance with you? Is interspecies interaction truly impossible? My mind, slow to catch up, faltered momentarily. But how did my mother end up with my father? As a devoted follower of my foolish bird friend, I believed she possessed wisdom far exceeding that of an ordinary stork. Observing my dazed expression, Siasini's frustration reached its peak. Why don't you pursue him? You can approach him as a human or as a cat. The human approach was beyond my comprehension. The cat approach? Would that involve presenting my rear end to him? Boo-woo, how embarrassing. Meanwhile, several other roommates stared at us as if we were fools, holding their phones while exchanging glances, seemingly contemplating reporting us. Within a couple of days, I found myself trending on the confession wall. In the video, my face bore a silly expression, appearing as if I might drift off into a dream at any moment, my mouth babbling incessantly about how to win him over. The title was equally amusing, Shock. Roommate imagines herself as a cat, seeks advice on pursuing Shun Xingchen. The comment section was rife with mixed opinions, but the overwhelming majority mocked me for being foolishly engrossed in novels. Upon entering the classroom, everyone began calling me Little Cat. causing my cheeks to flush crimson. After enduring until class ended, I stepped outside only to find a large crowd gathered around a phone, chattering excitedly. I squeezed through to inquire what they were watching. They glanced back at me, then at the phone, their eyes filled with sympathy. Pulling out my phone, I discovered someone was mocking me. A comment one. Where did this brainless fan come from? Turning into a cat? Does she really think any cat can replace our sister-in-law? Comment 2. How shameless to ride on this wave of popularity. Yi Ling Xian, everyone stop with the insults. The girl was merely daydreaming. What is wrong with that? Comment 4. Our Xian Xian is the best. She's not angry about being dragged into this. Indeed, the three of us attended the same school, but they were older and were my seniors. I had only just entered my second year. Yet, I couldn't recall having offended Yi Ling Xian, so why was she intervening? Was it for Xin Xingqian? That simply wouldn't he do. He was my treasure. Just as I was about to retort, the surroundings fell silent. Then, a melodious baritone reached my ears. Classmate Sue, my kitten is missing. Could you help me look for it? My fingers froze mid-typing. The classmates around me were equally stunned. Helping a movie star find a cat? After the director behind him explained the situation, I was left even more bewildered. The filming had concluded, and they wanted Xin Xingqian to return to our school to shoot a variety show titled Who Stole My Cat? The show's premise revolved around Xin Xingqian's quest to find his lost feline, featuring various cast members, including a few random female students from our school, one of whom was my name. But I am his cat. How on earth would I find myself? A living cat? This farce had evolved into a variety show. The director truly understood the essence of publicity. Xin Xingqian's fanbase exploded. Superspecies fans won. I knew it. Brother would never abandon his sister-in-law. Xian super topic. Don't say that. Brother is clearly using the pretense of searching for a cat to pursue sister Xian. Bystander fans. Speaking of which, don't you think the beauty Xin Xingqian is searching for is quite stunning? Fair and delicate, like a little kitten. The confession wall erupted further. Meow. Brother. Look at me. I'm your little kitten. The liar above. I'm the one. Family who understands. Why does every good thing seem to revolve around Su Meow Meow? Wall. Please save us. You've captured Xin Xingqian, and we're all in line behind you. Where are the previous haters? Come out and speak. In the blink of an eye, I had risen in prominence. But how on earth was I supposed to assist Xin Xingqian in finding his cat? Forget it. What's done is done. Time to eat. Just as I sat down with my meal, a tall figure approached me. Excuse me, may I sit across from you? I nodded, silently picking at my food. Yet, she smiled brightly as she scrutinized me. Was it because I was enjoying my meal? I glanced up at her. Is there something you need? Yi Ling Xian smiled faintly. Nothing much. I just wanted to say that having the fortune to participate in a variety show is an opportunity for you. I hope you can seize it. Know what to embrace and what to avoid. After all, we are alumni. Don't ruin our relationship, and certainly don't lose face. Looking into her non-committal gaze, I realized, if you dare to compete with me for the little dog, you're doomed. I made a fierce face at her and stormed off. Upon learning of my participation in the variety show, Xiaxini nearly turned our dorm upside down, exclaiming why it wasn't her. Then immediately brainstormed ways for me to pursue him. She stuffed a bottle of perfume into my pocket, instructing me to spray it when I encountered Xin Xingqian, making sure to find a secluded corner. Having a foolish bird friend helping me brainstorm felt wonderful. When I reported to the director's team, the executive director rushed towards me, his smile overly flattering. Get your hands off me, you old man, I pouted, glaring at him. He placed his hands on my shoulders, pleading, oh, Meow Meow, just help your dad out this once, okay? Just this once, and I'll give you all my secret stash, how about it? The mention of the secret stash lit up my eyes, though I overlooked the fleeting camera in the corner. Xian super topic one, I told you. The fair and delicate little kitten is probably a kept black cat. Super topic 2. In the trailer, this girl is named Su Meow Meow. How shameless of her to flirt with the executive director in front of everyone. What is the difference from stripping in public? Bystander A. You people are insane. Can't you see the pleading look in the executive director's eyes? Those who raise daughters know this is clearly a father begging his daughter. Super topic 3. Nonsense. She's clearly flirting with the executive director. The comments section was ablaze. Meanwhile, a new face appeared in the studio. Clack, clack, clack. The sound of high heels approached. What's going on here? Yi Ling Xian bit her lip, assuming a hesitant demeanor as she glanced between us. What was happening? What are you staring at me like that for? I perched on my father's back, tilting my head in curiosity as I scrutinized her. It's nothing. I merely wanted to remind you that the live broadcast has commenced, Yi Lingxian smirked, pointing towards the camera nestled in the corner. The moment I caught sight of the camera, I leaped 3 feet in surprise. Oh no! If my mother were to see this, she would undoubtedly discover my secret rendezvous with my father. Help! I hastily let go and dashed to the side. In the meantime, the comments flooded in. 1. Feeling guilty. Are we? 2. Still calling him dad. Look how extravagant today's college students are. 3. I bet she'll vehemently clarify that he is indeed her father. 4. Let us wait and see. The chat was instantly dominated by comments about Chen Xian. 10 minutes later, a discreet black Maybach appeared outside the studio, drawing the majority of the camera's attention. Shen Xingchen emerged from the vehicle, his plaid shirt exuding an elegant charm, sleeves casually rolled up, with a hair tie on his wrist, adorned with a tiny bell.
1.
Brother is so handsome. I want to have 100 of his babies. 2. His shirt is dirty. I wish I could take it off and wash it for him. 3. Upstairs, I can hear your calculations even in monkey country. 4. That hair tie on his wrist undoubtedly belongs to Sister Xian. Congratulations to her.
5.
You must be kidding. With Shen Xingchen's arrival, the number of viewers in the live stream skyrocketed. Yet, my focus was fixated on his wrist. When did he take my little bell? Before I could approach him for an inquiry, Yi Lingxian briskly walked over. Brother Chen, you're late today. Oh my, that girl is so endearing. 1. Wow, sister has successfully held hands with brother. 2. You can all give up now. Brother would never fancy a nobody. Shen Xingchen's cold gaze swept past Yi Lingxian and landed on me, his frosty demeanor instantly melting into a warm smile. Good to see you again. Yi Lingxian mistakenly thought he was greeting her, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment as she glanced around. What's wrong? Don't you recognize me? At that moment, staring at Shen Xingchen standing before me, my brain momentarily short-circuited. Should I retrieve the little bell? But doing so would expose me. If I didn't, oh no. It was a gift from a boy when I was young, and I cherished it dearly. Besides, it was made of gold.
I
recognize you, I stammered, nodding, when suddenly remembering my friend's advice, I dashed into the restroom. Perfume, perfume. He would surely adore it. I pulled it out and sprayed a couple of spritzes on my wrist, giving it a gentle rub. Guess what? I became so slippery that I slipped right out of my clothes. Sias Cine. Why didn't you tell me there was alcohol inside? Is it the elixir of life? I took a spray and 2 puffs, and I'm already tipsy. 1. The studio witnessed an awkward greeting catastrophe. So embarrassing. 2. So cringeworthy. The film emperor had no intention of greeting her, yet she leaned in eagerly. 3. Nonsense. Brother was just. 4. Out of words now, huh?
5.
I told you, the sister-in-law is impressive. She even gave the bell to brother. Yi Lingxian, with tear-filled eyes, turned to Shen Xingchen. Brother Chen, don't be deceived. Just now she and... Before she could finish her sentence, Shen Xingchen had already approached my father. My father scrutinized him with disdain. You think you can pursue my daughter?
Dream on.
Well, this is it. The little report cannot be filed now. We're doomed. When I stealthily emerged from the restroom, I sensed a peculiar tension between my father and Shen Xingchen. How should I put it? The distance between them suggested either a fight or an impending kiss. A fight seemed unlikely, so that was even worse. I quickly dashed out, positioning myself in front of Shen Xingchen, arching my back toward my father and emitting a muffled warning. Old Deng, if you dare bully my idol, I'll have my mom hang you up and whip your backside with chilly water. My father's expression instantaneously stiffened, and he walked away, drooping like a defeated rooster, muttering, A daughter grows up too fast indeed. Grows up? Am I not already grown? What on earth is he rambling about? The chat room erupted in a frenzy. Bossy sister-in-law is online to protect her husband. Sister-in-law's loyalty. The top-tier film emperor's pursuit of his wife fails. Only to be confronted by the future father-in-law, the pampered little wife transforms into a fierce protector. Upstairs, the bookstore is smashing, got it? In the footage, Shen Xingchen triumphantly lifted me up, cradling my belly as he took a deep breath near my back. If you breathe in again, I'll call police. Do you believe it? I flipped over to show him my little fangs, and there it was, the little bell on his wrist. After contemplating for a moment, I stealthily tugged at the hair tie on his wrist, inching it down. Just as I was about to pull it off, a large hand rapped against my head. Stealing in the open is one thing, but now you dare to do it in front of me? Shen Xingchen's Adam's apple bobbed as he grinned at me. What do you mean stealing? That sounds so harsh. I earned it fair and square. It's no different from a gift you gave me. The cat has been found. The director's team suddenly shifted gears, transforming the cat-searching variety show into the daily life of the top film emperor and his little sweetheart. Am I now being forced to cohabit with the film emperor? He carried me through the campus, recounting the tale of our first meeting. I remember you were just a tiny tot, weaning off milk, and yet you were so fierce, snatching up my little bell and running off. Uffed. Nonsense. I was already 5 years old then. I merely had grown quickly because I am the offspring of a human and a cat. As it happened, when I chased after you, a billboard fell over. He leaned down to gaze at me, his eyes filled with affection. You saved my life. How should I repay you? This exchange sent the chat into a frenzy. What about the debt of gratitude? Just don't go back on your word later. Upstairs, a genius. You should say that Chinese culture is vast and profound. Sister-in-law, don't be timid. Go in for the kiss. Look, brother has already agreed. Seeing his obedient demeanor, I blinked mischievously and pressed my paw against his lips. 1. Don't just wave your paws. Do something. Oh, I'm dying. 2. Sister-in-law, if you can't do it, we can give you a live demonstration. 3. You do this, then that, and voila, it's done. As the effects of the alcohol began to fade, my vision cleared. Just as I was about to lean in for a kiss, I hurriedly pulled away, jumping out of his embrace and darting off without a trace. I can't kiss him. I don't have any magical powers like Siesini to conjure up clothes. I can only present myself in a slippery, naked fashion. If I don't run, the live stream might just end up being my undoing. As I fled, the comments in the chat reflected a sense of disappointment. Is the sister-in-law backing out at the last moment? I certainly did not confront the executive director in such a manner just moments ago. Sister-in-law, please return quickly. Chungu cannot bear this alone. Retreating to the restroom in the studio, I nestled into my garments and gently patted my chest. So close. Just a hair's breadth away from revealing my true self. What a close call. But what about my appearance? I glanced at the perfume, gritted my teeth, and sprayed it liberally into my mouth several times. Immediately after, my vision blurred, and I began to sway unsteadily. The effects of the alcohol were indeed potent. As I staggered out of the restroom and into the studio, I unexpectedly collided with Shun Xingchen, who was approaching. He was undeniably handsome. I stumbled toward him, climbing up along his trousers. As he bent down to embrace me, I instinctively stood upright and pressed my lips against his gentle mouth. In an instant, the barrage of comments erupted. Ah, they kissed. Meeting in youth, reuniting in fame. This is too delightful to ship. To be honest, while I am not a fan of cross-species relationships, I genuinely wish to see them together. I was already tipsy, my vision doubling as I clung tightly to his neck. I felt his throat move a few times before he turned and entered the car. The photographer trailed him to his home, only to be halted at the doorstep. This is my private space. Please refrain from filming. Fan 1. What could possibly be off-limits for us esteemed members? Fan 2. How much for access? Fan 3. Wait, Asian, are you serious? Fan 4. Chungu, remain calm. Sister-in-law is still young. She truly cannot handle this. Shun Xingchen glanced at the comments in the live stream and sighed. This is a cat belonging to a female friend of mine. I've brought it home to care for it for a while. Fan 1. Did he accidentally add an extra word? Shun Xingchen chuckled shyly and replied, I am still pursuing her. He then looked down at me, who was on the verge of slumber. However, I should catch up soon. So, is your method of pursuing me to give me a bath? In the bathroom, I stood there covered in foam, glaring indignantly at the man before me. Would you believe me if I said I recognized you long ago? Shun Xingchen gazed at me with a beaming smile. Recognized me long ago? Because of my little bell? I looked at him with skepticism. He took my hand gently, rinsing off the foam from my body with water. I searched for you for a long time, and later I encountered you at school, in your human form, Su Miao Miao. I intended to ask you about it, but coincidentally, I recognized Uncle Su, who brought you to school. I inquired if you had a cat. He initially said no, but upon seeing you, he suddenly grinned and said yes. I was quite surprised at that moment. Later, when you got drunk, I could finally believe that such miraculous things truly exist. So, my little meow star, may I pursue you?
Wow.
My idol has confessed to me. I nodded emphatically. The next moment, splash. No. Isn't this revelation coming a bit too quickly? Here I was, covered in bubbles, revealing my human form, with my hand still held by Shun Xingchen. Shun Xingchen, calm down. You must remain composed. I suddenly feel quite uninclined to remain calm. What should I do? Under the dim, intimate lighting of the bathroom, He placed me into the bathtub, water splashing onto his shirt. The outline of his physique became increasingly pronounced as the water droplets traced his form. My heart raced. Not remaining calm may actually be acceptable. With an unexpected additional occupant in the bathtub, the once spacious bath now felt somewhat cramped. I pressed against one side, feeling both apprehensive and eager. Oh, dear friends, what should I do when I can only observe and not partake? Xingchen, I called out softly, feeling lost. He grasped my hand, his clear gaze filled with evident restraint and longing. Milk Candy, allow me to guide you. You should do it this way. His voice was husky as he led my hand toward his body. Likely dissatisfied with my limited knowledge of merely touching his abs, he leaned in closer, his hair brushing against my forehead, eliciting a delightful tickle. I instinctively let out a hum, only to have him silence my lips with his own.
Oh my.
I have truly matured. When I brought the living Xingchen home, my mother was still wielding a small whip to chastise my father. Upon hearing the commotion, she turned without looking back and said, Su Miao Miao, I hear Xingchen is pursuing you? As someone who has been through it, let me tell you, a man pursuing a woman is separated by rooms, cars, and her mother, but a woman pursuing a man is merely separated by a veil. You should. My mother instinctively turned around upon hearing 2 sets of footsteps. Her eyes nearly bulged out.
Did you seal the deal?
She asked in a cat-like manner. Yes, I shyly nodded. Almost immediately, I heard my father scream as if he were being slaughtered. My daughter is only 21. And you've whisked her away just like that? Damn it, I might as well bite my back teeth off. When you pursued your mother, she was just in her early 20s, wasn't she? My mother shot a disdainful glance at my father. Old Deng was at his wit's end. This can't possibly be the same. Although he quickly accepted the fact that I was a cat star, he could not come to terms with my best friend being a whale-headed stork, especially after suffering a fracture from a peck from her. In the hospital, observing his woeful expression, I gently patted his head. Be a good boy, Xiao Xiao. Do not be disheartened. Who told you not to accept the feather she offered? Xingchen pressed his lips together, nearly in tears. I didn't know she would peck me if I didn't accept. I don't care. I need a baby to hug to feel better. All right, hugs it is. I leaned down to embrace him, planting a kiss near his lips. Do you feel better now? His gaze shifted downward. My face flushed, and I playfully scolded him. Don't even think about it. We're in a hospital. Little epilogue later, our illustrious film emperor appeared on a variety show again. The host asked, I heard that you almost formed a bond with a cat back in the day. What happened afterward? Xingchen smiled slightly. Later, I caught up with its owner. The comments exploded once more, and the host looked at him in astonishment. Cross-species fans. What a beautiful conclusion. They can finally live happily together. Casual observers 1. The use of pursue is quite clever. Just imagine how wonderful sister-in-law must be for Xingchen to take the initiative. Observer 2. I want to see sister-in-law. The enthusiastic host inquired, Is it alright to divulge details about your girlfriend? Xingchen chuckled in disbelief and replied, I only recognized her as the owner of Milk Candy shortly before graduation, but she didn't remember me. It wasn't until I pursued her that I discovered her room was plastered with my posters. Observer 3. What a mutual crush. Observer 4. If it weren't for Milk Candy, they might still be apart. Observer 5. Do you think it could be Su Miao Miao? Observer 6. Given the circumstances, let us have a video call. At the enthusiastic urging of the viewers, Xingchen reluctantly dialed my video. After a lengthy wait, the call finally connected. The camera shifted to the big screen, revealing a plump ragdoll cat, tilting its head as it gazed at him.
Meow?
Instantly, the comments exploded, flooding the screen with excitement. Dominating the trending topics. Your sister-in-law remains your sister-in-law. The cross-species pairing triumphantly clinched the title of this year's shipping competition champion. The end of the text. Thank you for your attentive listening. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Until we meet again in the next story.